Hello Curious Soul! In this vlog we will go on a road trip through California. First of all, we're going to pick up my friend Aline from Switzerland from the airport. This was our first reunion after 3 years. To greet her properly here in LA, the first thing we did was taking her to the Butcher's Daughter for some drinks and brunch. We took a super long walk by the beach before going home for her to settle in and rest. The next morning she was reading a little bit by our pool while I was working and waiting for my husband to come back so that we can pick up the rental car. There we had to go twice because she forgot her driver's license at our place. The first thing after picking up the rental car was going to the Ross store, as this was one of our biggest tradition when we were both living in Seattle. After we went shopping, I took her to Rubio's because that is my absolutely favorite place for Mexican fast food. With full bellies, we went to Costco's to grab a few snacks for our road trip. We kept the first day super light because international travels are always so exhausting. The next morning I took her to my yoga class where I teach. She met my wonderful crew. After class, we drove to the Red Rocks National Park near Lancaster and we went for a quick hike. It was already super hot, so we kept that very short. It was still worth it though. We created a bunch of content there, enjoyed the nature in the desert, and just had the best time. Of course, I had to throw in a few yoga poses. When we arrived back home, we jumped into the pool to cool down and then had homemade cocktails before taking her out to dinner in our local Thai place. The next morning we tried to get up pretty early, hopped into the car and started driving to Joshua Tree National Park. Unfortunately, this vlog won't be that long because most of the time we were literally sitting in the car. And meanwhile, we were mostly eating snacks, singing, or being weird together. When we finally arrived, it was already extremely hot. We could not stay out there. We almost only met German speakers, which was super hilarious because we came from Europe to the States to just find more Germans. What's happening? Here, I by the way created my travel yoga flows in front of School Rock and other beautiful places, which you can enjoy for free on my channel. Here we also created my very first YouTube intro, which I've been wanting to create forever. Aline is one of those people who are very patient and super sweet and creative, and I just love her. After hiking and snacks and more hiking and more snacks, we drove to our Airbnb, which was nearby Joshua Tree National Park in a trailer. On our way there we picked up some dinner, which we then enjoyed in the evening sun, looking over the desert. In the evening we had more snacks, drank wine because it was National Wine Day, and played a few card games while wearing masks. Unfortunately, I lost that content, so you can just imagine it. I had never stayed over in a trailer before, so that was definitely an experience. After barely sleeping and getting up the next morning, we packed up and hopped right back into the car on our way to LA downtown. At the Starbucks, we of course also met another German. We're everywhere. We visited Beverly Hills and drove through the beautiful streets looking at this insanely gorgeous houses. We also went to the National Museum of Art, where in the middle of the journey, my flip-flop ripped and I had to walk barefoot through LA. Ew. My feet have never been this black. And yes, there, we actually met someone from my city in Germany. I was sneaking a few recordings, so when she discovered the camera, it was really funny. For dinner, we went to grab Korean, which neither of us had before, and we felt so silly because we weren't sure if we were eating it correctly, and we felt like the entire restaurant was just laughing at us.
Cheesecake! Wie kann sehr elegant sein.
After that, we fulfilled another high tradition that we used to do and went to the Cheesecake Factory. Obviously, we were both super excited. As you can see, she's one of my best friends. And we ended the day drinking wine and watching Disney movies in bed. The next morning, we were both pretty tired. We drove to a brunch place, picked up some food, went to Point Dume and enjoyed that view, before finding another very close by and super cute spot to enjoy our breakfast at the beach. How dreamy is that staircase though? Wow. This was definitely one of the most beautiful breakfasts I've ever had. We drove back through a national forest and then we went to Lucky Luke's in Lancaster and enjoyed some vegan burgers and beer. The next morning was unfortunately already our last. We grabbed incredibly delicious brunch, went for another walk by the beach, and then dropped her off at the airport. Bye, sweet soul, I miss you already!